Hey Bayek, it's me Ian, and in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at classic Doctor Who, the golden years, the brilliant, wonderful eras of Doctor Who, classic Who, of course. And this is the third and fourth Doctors that I've been going through their stories. So this is the Sea Devils from 1972. This is from the series 9 or season 9, and this is the third story in that. Now, before this, we had The Curse of Peladon, and then before that, we had The Day of the Daleks. Both those stories I reviewed quite a long time ago, but I've been following the line because the last series, third Doctor story I did was Demons. So we've jumped to this, but we'll carry on in the order that that the season progresses, unless, of course, I did any reviews earlier on. Anyhow, I'm going on a lot there. Anyhow, this is 6 episodes. It was transmitted the 26th of February to April 1972, the 1st of April, yes. And it was written by Malcolm Hulke. Yeah, what a name for Doctor Who. The Faceless Ones, 1967 he wrote. The War Games, 1969. What a classic story that is. He wrote, now incidentally, he wrote Doctor Who and the Solarians, 1970, which of course has a link with this story. And then The Ambassadors of Death, he was a co-writer on that. That's from 1970. Colony in Space, 1971. Frontier in Space, 1973. And his final story was Invasion of the Dinosaurs, 1974. So, great writer for Doctor Who. Then it's directed by Michael Bryant. Yes, another one. Colony in Space, he directed 1971. The Green Death, oh, what a story that is, 1973. Death to the Daleks, I love that one, 1974. Revenge of the Cyberman, 1975. And the classic, I go on about it, but it is The Robots of Death, 1977. What a story that is. Brilliant. He's a director, excellent director, does a great job as usual on this story. The script editors, of course, is Terrance Dicks, and the producer is Barry Letts. So we've got that combination. Now, the music is interesting. We've got this experimental electronic score by Malcolm Clarke. And it's very interesting because it's very different and it stands out. And I think it has had as a CD release as well, as far as I know, if you look it up. Very interesting part of this story, yeah. It was an important part of this is that the location and the cooperation that the BBC had when it was free, and they immediately got it because it was good publicity for Royal Navy. So what we've got is in Portsmouth at the HM Naval Base. We've got No Man's Land Fort on the island of Isle of Wight. And we've also got HMS Reclaim. And also they used stock footage they were allowed. This is, for BBC, it was wonderful. And for the Navy, they saw it as good publicity. And the extras, they didn't need to put any extras. The Navy, they all wanted to get on telly and have a few minutes of fame. And yeah, and they got it. And it was a great experience. Also, it's important to mention that Jon Pertwee, he was an ex-naval man as well as his radio series, the Navy. Like he was in a lot of connections with the Navy. It was a welcome, I think, production. It was really good, and of course, having all this location work, it just makes it even better. It is. It really looks good. This, yes, um, and it's interesting as well that they use this model. Of the submarine, which they bought from Woolworths, apparently. They did an alteration on it. And naval intelligence came, apparently, to say, where did you get the plans from that? Because it was nuclear submarine, supposedly. And they said, oh, well, we went to Woolworths and got it. Which, a nice little story there from the model work, yes. Okay, so let's get into the cast. We've got John Pertwee, of course, brilliant now as the third Doctor. And in many ways, this is the height, really, of Pertwee, showing how good he is as the Doctor, as an action man character as well. He's brilliant in this. And of course, Katie Manning as Jo Grant. It also struck me that Jo is not a sort of figure that just hides away and screams a lot, as often get put as common. She's very active, an important part of the story, the relationship that they have together. And it's all here. It's brilliantly done. And then we've got Roger Delgado returning as the Master. Now, we've had 2 episodes where he's not there because at the end of Demons, he got captured and has been supposedly imprisoned, which we will see how all this links in. So, we've got Clive Morton, who plays Trenchard. He goes back to 1932, he did. Famous film he was in The Blue Lamp, 1950s, great film that. The Lavender Hill Mob as well, 1951, that's another one. Richard III, 1955. Oh, Olivier. A film I love, Zeppelin, he was in that, 1971. And Young Winston, Attenborough's first film that he directed, Richard Attenborough, yeah, he's in that. So wonderful. Then we've got Declan Mulholland, who plays Clark. He was in Androids of Tara, which is the 16th season, 1978, 4th Doctor, Tom Baker story. In films, he was in Theatre of Blood, which is a film I absolutely love, 1973. And The Land That Time Forgot, 1974, which is an Amicus film. And also, he was originally in Star Wars as Jabba the Hutt, but his scene got deleted. Yes, but we do see Jabba the Hutt later. But yeah, that's his fame there, yes. Then we've got Hugh Futcher, who played Hickman. He was in Carry On films, believe it or not. But I'll just mention his other, Repulsion. He was in Repulsion 1965, which is an absolute amazing film. What Repulsion is, really is. He was in that. And then some Carry On films. Carry On Spy, 1964. Carry On Abroad, 1972. And Carry On Behind, 1975. So there we are. He went from Polanski, yes, with his Repulsion, to the Carry On films. Hey, you can't say fairer than that. So that is the cast of of this. Yes, brilliant. There is a lot more, but I thought, well, I'll just concentrate on those. Those, yes, but those are the main ones that stand out. Excellent, absolutely wonderful. So you're saying, what's this about? I mean, 6 parts, quite a lot, to get in. But it starts really when the Doctor and Jo visit the Master. So there we are. It's all set up. who's imprisoned on this island. The Doctor. You can see an interesting relationship still there, and of course we learn about how the Doctor knew the Master. They were friends, kind of. Yes, going right back to Gallifrey. We get a nice bit of backstory there, which of course is brilliant. But of course, the Master being the Master, he's actually controlling his captives, and he's there in seeming to be in prison, but he's controlling the prison, and he's scheming. Now these boats have been disappearing, naval boats, and the Navy's wondering what's going on. And of course, there's a pattern here, and of course, it all comes down to what they term these creatures, the Sea Devils, which are related to the Solarians. Yes, and they live under the sea, and they believe the Earth belongs to them. They've got bases all around the world, and the Master is meddling, as you might say, because he's promised them that he can revive them, all these bases, because all the Sea Devils are there, and he will get them back, and so they can carry on with their plan of taking over the world again, reclaiming the world as they would see it, and getting rid of all the humans. I mean, that's the Master. Of course, he's there behind all this, and he's created the machine and everything. And of course, the Doctor gets onto it, and the story just develops beautifully. 6 episodes, you just don't notice it, And you kind of, when you're watching it, you're wishing, oh, why can't they do Doctor Who like this nowadays? You really do. You just think, this is so good. And the locations, as I mentioned, are beautifully put into the stories. And you feel it's an action-packed story, and you feel it's actually got a bigger budget for this, which of course getting the Navy was a great coup. It really was. And it just makes this look so good, absolutely fantastic. I really can't help but think this is Pertwee now, Jon Pertwee. He's doing his own stunts, and he's there fencing, and he's doing all these Pertwee kind of things with gadgets and on boats, and oh yeah, it's wonderful seeing him. And this is why I think people loved Jon Pertwee. He was so good, and just perfect into the role, absolutely wonderful. You can't help but love him, really. You really can't. And why classic Doctor Who is just so good. They can't do it nowadays. They can't do it. They may have all these massive budgets, but they haven't got the storytelling charm. They haven't got it's just great. Everybody involved in this production is great. And, you think of the resources they have. It's wonderful. Absolutely. I know I'm going on and getting all sentimental about it, but it is. I've just loved seeing it again. Enjoying all these classic episodes. Now, it first came out on VHS in 1995. There were problems that they had to use one of the American tapes and had to re-all-do it, because then things were missing. It was in that era, but they've got all those sort of converted now, and it came out on DVD in a box set. In the other ones in the box set, this was in 2008. We had the Solarian story in there, and then Warriors of the Deep. That was all in this part of the box set. Very good box set. And then, of course, we've had it released in 2023 on Blu-ray. Makes its debut in Doctor Who The Collection 2023. So I'll just show you, as usual. There is the brilliant DVD of that with all the covers. There we are. Look at that. It's great. There's a little leaflet you get. Oh, fantastic. I do love the DVDs, but then Here we are, yes. Look at that, eh? Isn't that wonderful seeing that Series 9 or Season 9, whatever you want to call it? But, oh, classic. Look at that cover. The artwork is always good. And we've got all these documentaries on here and plus more. It's amazing. Highly recommended. But hey, it's classic Who, isn't it? And that's it. I've been going on. Yes, I'm not being paid by people to do this. Well, I won't mind if you want promoting it. But hey, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and we'll let you know when I put out these videos. You can see all the things I do, all sorts on this, films, reviews, and all that kind of things. Nostalgia, a bit of music, and whatever you want. Yeah. And then if you like this particular video, please give it a like. It gets it out onto YouTube and into all algorithms and all that business. And if you got any comments, please put your comments down. I love to read your comments. And that's it, I think. Yeah, and that all costs note, so you can't say fairer than that. So all I gotta say is, I'll see thee again.